Hey there, this is Dr. Mini Dhawan, and today I have brought for you CBSE Class 10th Geography Chapter 6 Manufacturing Industries Part 1. So, first we will see what is manufacturing. Manufacturing is production of goods in large quantities after processing from raw material, or we can say the process with which raw material is converted to more valuable products is called manufacturing. Example, we use wood to manufacture paper, sugarcane for sugar, iron ore for iron, and steel. Wherever this manufacturing takes place, like workers employed in steel factories, textile industries, bakeries, etc., falls in secondary activities. Here we will primarily learn about the manufacturing industries which fall in secondary sector. Development in secondary sector indicates the economic strength of the country. Now we check the importance of manufacturing industries in India. The manufacturing sector is considered the backbone of development in general and economic development because of certain reasons. It helps in agriculture modernization. Manufacturing industries provide tools and machinery for agriculture and helps in modernization of agriculture. Now agriculture need few people only, so excess people can get jobs in secondary and tertiary sectors. This reduces the heavy dependence of people on agricultural sector by providing them jobs in secondary and tertiary sectors. Next is removing unemployment, poverty, and regional disparity. Construction of public sector industries and joint sector industries are aimed to remove unemployment and poverty from the country. Establishment of industries in tribal and backward areas, it helps in bringing down the regional disparities. It helps in the eradication of unemployment and poverty. Increase trade and commerce. Now, export of finished goods increases trade and commerce with which foreign money can be earned. The country who can transform raw material into the finished goods get higher value of goods and become prosperous. It gives a boost to the economy. India should convert its raw material into a wide variety of finished goods in order to prosper. So it increases nation's prosperity. We can compete with international markets only if our manufactured products are at par in quality with international products. Contribution of industry to national economy. The desired growth rate of industry is around 12%. And if we see the National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council NMCC has been set up with this objective. Government policy interventions and renewed efforts by the industry for productivity will help manufacturing sector achieve its desired growth rate. So it is going to contribute a lot to the national economy. Interdependence of agriculture and manufacturing industries cannot be overseen. Agriculture and manufacturing sectors are supportive to each other. They go hand in hand. Agriculture provides raw material for industries such as cotton, oilseeds, sugarcane, etc. And industries, they in turn provide agriculture much needed products such as water pumps, PVC pipes, fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides for a better agricultural production. Hence what happens, the development of industries also helps in development of agriculture. So they go hand in hand. That is why we say that they are supportive of each other and they go hand in hand. Now where do establish an industry. That is also very important. Industrial location. Now, there are certain factors which affect the location of an industry. First of all, wherever we have to set up an industry, you know, we need a place where raw material is readily available. Now, industries are not found everywhere. They are located at certain places where they get favorable conditions, which are either already available or can be arranged at a lower cost. Industrial location is mainly governed by certain factors. One of them I have already told you, that is raw material should be readily available. Availability of raw material is necessary for low cost of production. So the cheap and abundant availability of raw material is an important factor. Then availability of a cheap skilled laborers and workers, it is also necessary for low cost production. Source of energy, cheap and continuous supply of power is extremely necessary. Source of water is another important factor. Now, availability of capital and finance, it cannot be overlooked while making industry. So that is also very important. Now, it is necessary for a manufacturing industry to have lot of capital, because if you are establishing a infrastructure, you need a lot of money. You have to make a you have to make a plant, you have to have many machines, so lot of investment has to be there. So for entire manufacturing process, for meeting the manufacturing expenditure, capital and finance should be readily available. So that is also very important. So next we can say demand in the market. Markets should be there in the close proximity, because if markets will not be there, then whatever we are producing, that is like we won't be able to sell it very easily. So market is also one of the major demands. Then transportation and communication, that is also very important. It plays a very important role. Banking and insurance facilities, and favorable government policies for setting up industries, that is also really very important, so that the ease of doing business is there. Now we have seen that some cities, they provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants and financial advisors, etc., to the industries at one place only. Many industries, they tend to come together at urban areas to make use of advantages offered by the urban centers. So it becomes a hub of industries. These are known as agglomeration of economies. It is a localized economy in which a large number of companies, services and industries exist in the close proximity, in the close vicinity to one another. So they all can benefit from the cost reduction and gains in efficiency that result from this proximity. For example, we have seen Silicon Valley in US, and in India also now we have developed many such agglomeration of economies. Now we will see how can we classify industries. See, we can classify industries on different bases. Same industries, but the classification can be on different bases. First of all, we'll take on the basis of source of raw material. What kind of raw material is used in a particular industry? So according to that. So in that classification, we'll be having agro-based industries and mineral-based industries. So two kind of raw material can be there, one from agricultural sector and another from mineral based sector. Now next is according to their main role. What kind of role they are having? Are they a basic industry or are they a consumer industry? So according to their role. Then on the basis of capital investment, what kind of capital you are investing? It can be a small scale industry and it can be a large scale industry. Then on the basis of ownership, On the basis of ownership, we can divide in public sector, private sector, cooperative sector, and again in joint sector. Based on bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods, we can divide industries into heavy industries and light industries. So we can see a same set of industries can be divided, can be classified in various possible manners on the basis of their raw material, on the basis of their bulk and weight, on the basis of their ownership. So we can classify industries like that. So on the basis of source of raw material, we can divide, as I have already told you, we can divide industries into agro-based and mineral-based. Now here, those industries where raw material come from agriculture, they are called agro-based industries. Examples are cotton, wool, jute, silk textiles, sugar, tea, edible oil, so on and so forth. Next is mineral-based industries. So here we see the industries where minerals are used as the raw material. They are called mineral-based industries. For example, iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine, tools, etc. Now, on the basis of their main role, I have told basic and consumer. Now we will discuss that. Basic or key industries, as they are called. Now, industries which provide raw material to other industries are called the basic industries. So these industries, they help the development of other industries, and they are like copper, aluminium smelting, iron and steel, etc. Then again, there are consumer industries. Those industries which produce goods for consumers are called consumer industries. So इसमें क्या होता है कि finished goods of these industries are directly sold in the market for consumers. Example, sugar है, toothpaste, soap, bread, paper, which can be directly consumed by the consumers. So these are consumer industries. Basic industries which provide other industries with raw material, with basic raw material. Now, on the basis of capital investment, what kind of investment we have made? It is small scale and large scale industries. Now, industries where investment of capital is less than 10 crores are called small scale industries. And examples are mat, furniture, toys, bread, tools, etc. And these kind of industries, they employ less laborers and most of the work is done by the manpower only. In NCERT, you will be seeing that the figure that is given is 1 crore only. So I have put 1 crore in the slide, but actually now it is 10 crores. Fine. And in large scale industries, those industries where investment of capital is more than 10 crore rupees are called as large scale industries. Here, most of the work is done by the machines. Now, examples can be iron and steel, petrochemicals, cotton textiles, etc. On the basis of ownership, we can divide it into 4 types: public, private, joint and cooperative. Now, what is public sector? ये जो industries होती हैं, they are owned and operated and again maintained by the government. For example, BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. Then if we see private industries, so there are a band of private industries. ये जो industries हैं, they are owned and operated by private individuals or group of individuals sometimes. For example, Tisco, Bajaj Auto, Reliance, Dabur, Wipro. There are lot of many industries which are private ones. Then again, joint sector. Now, what is this joint sector industry? See, ये जो industries होती हैं, they are jointly run by government and the group of individuals or one private one individual. It can be run by many people, group of individual or one person. So basically, joint sector में jointly run by government and individual or the group of individual. It is mixture of public and private sector, example Oil India Limited. Now next is cooperative sectors. These industries are owned, operated and maintained by individual or by suppliers of raw material and workers of the industries. you know जैसे हम देखते हैं शुगर इंडस्ट्रीज़ हैं महाराष्ट्र में, कॉयर इंडस्ट्रीज आर देयर इन केरला. So many people, they work together, and they own it and they operate it with the help of individuals, many people, they gather together and they make a cooperative society, and this is cooperative sector. On the basis of bulk and weight of raw material and products. Now we divided it into heavy and light industry. Those industries which use heavy and bulky raw material and produce heavy goods in large quantity are called heavy industries. For example, iron and steel, copper smelting. और light industries में अगर हम देखें, those industries which use light and small raw material and produce light goods are called light industries. Example, toys, tools, utensils, electrical industry, etc. So that's all for today, children. So today we have learnt about manufacturing industries and their classification. Pretty soon I'll come up with next part of the chapter. Till then, keep learning, keep safe.